In this video today, I'm going to talk about turnkey properties. I think you probably should not invest in turnkey properties. And I'm going to give some specific examples. Even talk about something that happened with one of my readers who left a comment on my blog about what happened when he invested in a turnkey property and is now seeking my help. What is a turnkey property, or what is a turnkey company? What a turnkey company will do for you is, let's say that you live in a high cost of living area and you like to whine about not being able to invest in real estate. Or let's say you're like me and you live in South Korea, or I lived in Germany before because I'm in the military, and you whine because you can't invest in real estate because it's too expensive or you're overseas. Pick your expensive spot. I can't invest in real estate because I'm not like so-and-so who lives in Iowa. They're the lucky ones. Well, what some people do is they go to a turnkey company, turnkey property company, and buy a property from them. And how does that work? That turnkey company, let's say they're in Iowa, okay? You're in Los Angeles, they're in Iowa. They're gonna buy a distressed property that needs lots of work. And they've got teams, and they've been doing this, and they're professionals. So they buy a distressed property. They do all the, contracting, find the right people to get it like all fixed up and nice, right? They get it ready to move into. Then they find renters, either themselves or through a management company that they found, put it in the property. They also find the management company, got a renter in it. It's renovated. It's being managed by a management company. Now they sell it to you. You're in Los Angeles and you buy this property from a turnkey company that did all the hard work for you that you don't know how to do, and it's difficult to do because you're long distance. Let me go into a little bit more detail how that works though. I argue that that's not necessarily a good idea. I tell you that I'm in the military and I've been living overseas most of my career. I lived in Japan for 5 years, Germany for 3 years, now Korea for 2 years, lived in Guam for 2 years. Throughout that entire time, I've been flipping houses, buying and selling homes, fixing it up, and running them out, and doing so successfully from overseas. And I've been using management companies, and I've made my fair share of mistakes, but I've figured out how to make it work. And that's what I teach people to do on my website, and that's what I want to teach people to do through a video, which I'm doing now. So I'd argue that that's a smarter move than letting this turnkey company do it for you. Let's talk about how the numbers work with a turnkey company when they sell a property to you. Let's say that you bought a property. You bought this great property in Iowa, right? You're gonna buy it. So you buy it, great. You bought it for $30,000. You fixed it up. You had to put $20,000 worth of work into it to get it move-in ready. Now it's ready to move into. $30,000, $20,000 worth of work, $50,000, and this thing's ready to move into. So now you need to find renters, and you need a property management company. $50,000, and this property can rent, let's just be like really optimistic, it can rent for $1,000 a month. So that's pretty awesome. If you're familiar with the 1% rule, the house costs $50,000, then it should rent for 1% of that price. That means it should rent for $500 a month. Let's say that this thing rents for $1,000 a month. So it's like really kicking ass on the 1% rule. It's making the 2%, it's doing the 2% rule, right? So you love this property. It's making you a really good return on investment. You bought it for $50,000, it gets $1,000 worth of rent a month. That's absolutely amazing. What would happen if you bought it from a turnkey property company? How would the numbers be different for you? The turnkey company bought it for $30,000 instead of you. Okay, you haven't bought it yet. They bought it for $30,000. They put $20,000 into it. Perfect. And then now it's $50,000 that they put into it. They put a renter into it. They give it to a property management company. They're going to sell it to you. But do you know how to flip houses? They're going to flip this house to you. They're into it for 50. They're going to flip it to you for 100. Okay? They're going to make $50,000 on this house. Flip it to you for 100. You've lost 50,000 in equity. But if it rents for 1,000 a month, then you're into it for 100,000. It's running for 1,000 a month. It still satisfies the 1% rule barely. Maybe you can make a profit on this house. Not a big profit, but a small one. So you're happy enough to take this house, right? But you've lost a massive amount of potential ROI. You let this company do all the hard work and all the smart work for you. They're the ones that have gotten a large amount of the profit, 50,000 in equity, because your cost is so much higher, 100,000 instead of 50,000. Your ROI from $1,000 worth of rent is so much lower. If you'd have been into it for 50,000, making 1,000 a month, that'd be so much better than being into it for 100,000, making $1,000 a month. That's kind of the huge problem with turnkey properties. Now, the naysayers out there are going to be like, oh, it's not, they're not going to flip it to you for that much more. Who knows? I mean, who knows how much, first of all, who knows how good a job they're doing rehabbing these properties? Who knows how much quality and how much care they're putting into finding the right tenant? Who knows how good a job they're doing finding a great property management company? And who knows how much of a markup they're putting into that property when they sell it to you? There's a lot of unknowns there. You're kind of like getting the leftovers, they're getting all the good meat off of the bone, and you're getting like what's left over or what falls on the ground maybe. That's like what you'll be eating. So I'm not like a huge fan of this. I just don't like it. I think you can do better. I think you can learn to do this yourself. Again, I don't know jack shit. I'm not handy at all. I mean, I hate Lowe's. I hate Home Depot. I hate handy projects. I don't like installing lights or painting, or I don't even like using a screwdriver, right? But I have somehow managed to learn how to flip houses, buy real estate, sell real estate, do all this other stuff from overseas, right? From long distance. If I can do it, any of you listening to this can do it. By the way, if anyone's enjoying this, like if there's like from the tens and tens of people that might be watching this, hit the like button. I don't know if is it this way or this way? Like button, heart, wow, thumbs up, subscribe. Please comment where you're thinking about buying a house, or and tag a friend if you think this is going to help them. This is good stuff. Don't go wrong with buying. Don't go wrong with thinking about getting a turnkey property. I know a lot of people promote turnkey properties, and a lot of successful bloggers do. A lot of wealthy bloggers do. I would argue that some of those bloggers probably make money when you click on a link on their website, and they get a little commission when you buy from that person. So just take that into account when they're sort of like pushing for the turnkey company. I'm not saying they're biased. I would never say that. My story, right, from my blog, richonmoney.com. Go check it out. Lots of good stuff on there. Read the complete guide to real estate investing that I wrote. It's a great place to start if you haven't looked at that blog yet. It's written by a really handsome guy who's very intelligent, so I recommend going to richonmoney.com. He's actually a great guy. Somebody left a comment on my blog recently that I want to share with you. I thought it was really interesting. Because I'm very clear with people on my blog that all my houses are in Montgomery, Alabama. All 20 of my single-family homes are in Montgomery, Alabama. And I get lots of comments like, oh, Rich, that's so awesome. Like, will you help me invest in Montgomery? Will you tell me who your property management company is? Will you tell me who your plumber is? I kind of get like very specific questions like that. Actually, most of the time I end up not being able to help those people because I get a lot more emails than you might imagine. Lots more emails than, say, people watching right now. So this guy, he came out and he sent me an email and he said, hey, Rich, saw you on such and such podcast. I think Paula Pants Afford Anything podcast. I loved it. I decided to keep you in mind in case anything went wrong with my turnkey property that I bought in Montgomery, Alabama. Because if something went wrong, I might need your help. And guess what? That was like, 6 months ago. And the time has come. My turnkey property situation has gone to shit. And, I live in New York City. I've never been to Montgomery, Alabama, never stepped foot there in my life. I bought this thing sight unseen, seemed like a good deal at the time. Turns out my tenant, ran away and trashed the place. My turnkey company sucks. My management company's horrible that they gave me. all the construction, all the rehab that they did is shoddy and I have to redo everything. I don't know. Like, I need your help. Will you help me fix this? Like, I need to manage a company. I need contractors. And like, just come in and please help me out with this. Hey, this is what I'm trying to tell you guys. Like, this is what can happen with a turnkey company. Everything went wrong. The tenant sucked. The property management company sucked. The rehab that they did sucked. And this person has a full-time job and they're in New York City. They've never stepped foot in Montgomery, Alabama before. They have no team. They have nobody on the ground that they trust. So they're emailing a guy they saw on a podcast and they're hoping that this guy will, out of the goodness of his heart, kind of like swoop in and save him. And that's a tough situation to be in. So buyer beware. I'm not a huge fan of turnkey properties. I bet there's companies out there that are good people. I'm not sure about that. There might be, but I think you're better off figuring out how to do it yourself, keeping that equity for yourself, figure out the contracting yourself, find the property manager yourself. I teach you how to do that. Build your own team. I teach you how to do that. There are other websites and books that can teach you how to do that too. Do these things and you'll be much better off in the end. That is my lesson to you today. If you have liked this today, thumbs up, heart, wow. What am I missing? I already said thumbs up. Subscribe if it's on YouTube. Tell your friends. Please leave a comment below. You've got to get a different shirt or what, I liked this. It helped me a lot. Why are you doing the typing motion? That's kind of stupid. Like something. Thanks a lot. Thanks for listening, everybody. Oh, let me talk to there's a lot of people online. Let me say hi to them. Joe, how you doing? Bob, it's good to see you. Hey, Jim, what's up? There's probably some females listening. Oh, Jenny, good to see you. All right, Tiffany. Oh, yeah, I know. Thanks, Tiffany, signing off. Okay, bye, everybody. Thanks for listening.